we think, let me stay consistent and focus. But then
Right.
sometimes we could turn that off unconsciously, not paying attention to consistency and focus because something else is a distraction. And we think that that distraction is more important. And then when we go
Right.
back to it, it's like starting something, a project or whatever it is, and you don't complete it and you go back and you go, I could have had this done already if I would have stayed
Mm.
consistent. So the consistency and focus is most important when you're offline, meaning you're not having a busy day, right?
Right.
You have a
That's right.
productive day, and then when your productivity is turned off for a moment, and that moment could be grabbing something to eat, family time, read, whatever it is, something other than you sitting and doing business is where your consistency and focus needs to be. Now, that's not to say don't take the time off for a brain break, a family break, or vacation, whatever it is. But the consistency and the focus part is that you always have what's next or what needs to be completed in the front part of your brain, not a, oh, I forgot to do this. Oh, let me set my reminder to remind me to do this. And it's not an easy thing to do, but if you stay consistent, you'll build good habits around it. You'll build everything you study, your conversations with people, conversations with clients, with
James,
strategic
Mm.
partners,
James,
any particular you go to a networking event, you're just out in the street in the store and you meet somebody and they
Right.
actually have a need for your service or you have a need for their service, or they just remember the we don't meet people by accident for the most part, right? So there's a lot of information and resources out there. So if you build up that consistency and focus and adjust your mindset, it will everything else will follow. Does that make sense, Nicole?
Absolutely. And just like just getting it, that brings about also getting to having the discipline. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You
Yep.
know, because
That was gonna be my
we all I
next.
guess that can become if you become inconsistent and like you always talk about all the time, Corey, you know, like you plan your day ahead of your week. And what I mean by that is when you be telling me how even on Sundays and even on the day, you be looking ahead to your week. You know what I mean? You be looking ahead to the next month on what you're gonna do. And what do I need to do on my end that's gonna make me achieve those goals and those set dates, you know what I mean? Those set times to be able to do it. If not, I'm just gonna be just waking up to the day, you know what I mean, to whatever's gonna
And then
come
just going with whatever the date
and to
says
go or
that
whatever.
needs to happen. Right.
That's right. There are other things and other things going to pull, and they're going to determine your day and your time. And then that's when you're going to be caught in the bubble of, I just can't get done what I need to. Well, it's like it has to be a purpose to achieving those things. And in order to be consistent, in order to be focused, like you're stating, it has to be purposeful. You know what I mean? And it has to be that consistency is key. What you're bringing up, because and it has to be driven in a way. I think especially now because of the other devices and because of the different distractions, and is bringing
Mm-hmm.
ourselves to a point of noticing things that can become major distractions. It can be minor. You think it's minor, but the time you can't get it back. You know what I mean? Like that
Correct.
time passes
Correct.
and like we blinked, it was the 1st of November. We blinking and Thanksgiving was like 2 days ago. You know what I
Correct.
mean? And
Correct.
you might as well say we had December because tomorrow is definitely December the 1st. So what is it we're
Correct.
going to purposely be consistent for in the next 31 days?
You
Let's
know
set
what
up
else I
goal
try
like
to do?
say what now?
You know what else to your point, right? Like
Yeah,
your next 31 days, right? So you
yeah,
know what else I try to do is I try to I recently, I think, was it this year or last year? It might have been the end of last year. And I'm breaking because they say words are powerful, right? So and
absolutely.
and behind mindset behind the words is even more powerful, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what to help me be more disciplined, to help correct either introduce new habits to myself or correct bad habits, right?
Yes.
I've been focused on two words every day: busy or productive.
Yes.
Busy is just not is just doing a whole bunch of things and not completing anything. And when I say
Exactly.
completing it, I mean that you don't have to pick it back up, right?
Right.
And that's par for the course because you're in business, you're gonna have busy days. But I try to make sure that I get some sort of productivity out of my day. And the productivity is the completion of something.
Yes.
So I don't have to go, because it's fulfilling when you're productive, not
Yes.
busy. Busy is just killing time. It's just
Exactly.
busy work and it's killing time. So I try to use those two words that will help me to improve my level of discipline because again, it's it's easy to go, I'll get to that later, especially when you're your own person. I'll get to that later. I'll get to it. I'll
Yes.
get to it. Let me put this on
Right.
this bottom of this
Procrastination.
list. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Right? You what
Absolutely.
you
Am I
know
back?
what? Oh yeah, you back in the building. But
Okay.
you roll over, you like, wait a minute, my first meeting is at 11 o'clock. You know what? I think I'm gonna roll out, get out the bed about 9 o'clock. These things happen.
Yep.
these things.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you contending with freedom, and those habits, those are habit forming thoughts that you subconsciously don't pay attention to, right? As
Yes.
yep.
well as being busy, you could be busy. You get up, you start your day at 6 o'clock in the morning and at 11 o'clock at night, and you're on that same cycle. So when's your time to retrieve back and see if you had a busy or productive day, and what's your discipline level
Mhm.
at that? So go ahead, James, speak on it, my brother.
Well, no, I was gonna say on that same line, one thing that I do to get the productivity of, and I've read this in a book too, is well, and especially for those of you that work from home, the first thing I make sure I do is I make the bed. I get out the bed and make my bed,
Word,
Yeah.
and that's the first
Absolutely.
word.
thing. So I got something done for the day, and then from
Yep.
there, because some of the things is just making sure you get routines down, whether it be making sure you got the dishes clean, the dishwasher ran, like some of them things. But the bed makes it one psychologically. It's like okay, I'm not getting back in it. I might lay across it, but I'm not getting back in it. So it's psychologically okay. I'm good now. I've got something done. You know what I'm saying? I got
Right,
something done for the
right,
day. I started doing something. So
right.
now we've gotten that done. So now we and then you start building that type of habit. What I was gonna say, using the tools, and that's what I mean by I've been optimizing my tool, the to do is to to really fit in that thing. Like for instance, I have a task in there that um to review basically to clean out the prior week's emails. So it's supposed to be Sunday night, but I might do it Monday morning. But but that's also stuff you can do. That's busy work, but it's somewhat it leads to productivity, and then you can also do it when those times brainless. You can
Yeah,
do it,
correct.
but it's important because you open your box and you got like 1,000 unread emails. That's a
Right.
distraction.
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
Like
100%.
just seeing that, you immediately get distracted. You like, oh my god, I got to go through all these emails. Like, you got this, blah, blah, in that flow, in that in that like, okay, I'm gonna be consistent. But it starts. Get up, and then there's times when I don't do it. And I notice when I don't get up and make the bed, I'm kind of just like out here. I'm just doing, I'm like,
Hmm.
when I do that, and I mean, that's when I know I'm like, I'm hitting on cylinders. I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, all right, let's go. And so you guys are having a pretty good conversation. I had some heat problems with my phone, and it's a lot happening here.